never ban. All them having cars now, whichever get up. Light up my scarf with a sweet one bliss. Someone flips me a bag by it. Oh, it's another one. It's another one, yeah. It's a full strand, yeah. Oh, it's another one. It's another one, yeah.
What's going on, people? Welcome into another episode of the Stay Waiting Show, presented to you on iBoxingHub in association with our sponsors, D-Rock Clothing. I'm joined by my man Ray. Ray, what's the weekend been saying for you, man?
Man, hibernation season, man. Hibernation season. So it's getting colder, it's getting darker. And I finally found a cable. I needed to get a new power cable for my PS4 and I can't find controllers or games.
You need to upgrade to the PS5.
It's not happening. I don't game enough to get a PS5. That's what it is.
Neither do I. Play FIFA yearly, but that's about it.
That's even, you're pushing it. I have my Star Wars games, and then that's me, man. I'm good. I tried to play one of the Ghost Recons. I played one level. I've been so serious. I played one level. I kept on getting sharp, and I said, absolutely not, man. I said that I gave that game back to CEX, and I said,
same for me.
I said, I'm not a shoot 'em up type of guy. Them days are over. Give me my simple adventure games, and I'm good.
We've gone into unk phase. You know when you see them people that be like on FIFA L2 or R2 flip the analog stick. I'm like, yeah, I'm in unk phase. I can pass it. I can triangle. I can see the pass, but I'm not doing 5-star skills.
What's the other thing that people do? Ultimate 11, yeah, none of that stuff.
Yeah,
please, man. Someone give me a PS2 and Pro Evo, and I'm back in the game.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But do you know what? You said you're hibernating, yeah? I'm doing the opposite. Have you seen, what's his name, Andre Schurrle? What he does? Climbs mountains and all that vibes. I'm on that.
The hiking. Yeah, no.
I'm doing the mountain hiking vibes. I ain't going shirtless though. Maybe. We never know. I don't know.
I've done a few hikes in the summer, and I've got 1 or 2 lined up. So I'm just hoping that the weather.
I like it colder. I like it colder. But let's go straight into boxing. The title of the show is Boots to Asses. We are talking about Jaron Ennis. He came out in Philadelphia again. He was like, you know what? Let me come in. Let me get the job done. I don't know if you guys are going to be happy that you ain't going to see me for long. But within the first round, gets the job done. I think there was 3 knockdowns in that round, in that fight. Just give me your impression of Boots right now. Like, in terms of I'm not talking about one fit, just in the boxing sphere, where does he really belong?
I think he's done what he's needed to do. He's gone in there 154. The same people that are being weirdos and talking about, oh, why didn't he go straight away and, fight for said belt? Shut up, man. The guy, you can't win. Like, he can't win, because when he was at welterweight, we saw him clearly trying to unify, which he did in his last fight. No. When did he get? Because I know he had to face Karen.
Staniosis. That's when he
beat Staniosis, and then he faced Karen after that or before that?
Before. That was the unification fight.
That was a mandatory, isn't it? The Karen fight, yeah. So he had to fight Karen as a mandatory. He fought scared. Then he fought Staniosis, put a good show. He gave how Brian Norman and his team have got away from that blatant duck, and people made Boots sound like the bad guy, is crazy to me. He said this is more than 10 times your biggest payday. They said no, and Boots is the bad guy. And I don't understand how that makes sense to anybody else that Boots is the bad guy in that situation, considering the fact that, you're not getting this, your own promoter doesn't rate you that much to give you this payday, but it's Boots that you're saying you have to pay me more for this fight, even though you're meant to be a champion. So it's just like, at welterweight, for whatever reason, people had problems with Boots, even though he's clearly trying to unify. Then it gets to the point where, for health reasons, move out to 154. And then people expect him to go to 154 and go straight into a title fight, or to fight Virgil Ortiz like he's done something at 154 either. That's what I don't get. Why is Virgil Ortiz named the one? Virgil Ortiz, go get a belt. Go
I
get
think
a
it's
belt. What is
because
Virgil Ortiz waiting
this is
for?
the thing, right? It's because he's associated with Oscar, and if you strip champions, he's probably the more commercial name that you can put out
He's
there.
not. Let's be real here. Let's be very real. Let's be very real. Virgil Ortiz, similar to Boots, yeah, they're both, in terms of the grander scheme of things, I'm not talking about as boxing fans, I'm just talking about as the casual boxing fan in America. We're not even talking about internationally. The casual boxing fan in America, neither of them are known. They're both known regionally. Maybe you could argue Ortiz has a bigger regional name than Boots. People need to start thinking, when they keep on saying, I honestly think people don't know what stars are because we've been deprived of them for so long. Neither of them are stars. Virgil Ortiz, him being more commercially viable than Boots doesn't mean much because both of them aren't really the biggest names. And so for me, it's like, Virgil, go get a belt. Boots is on the way to get a belt soon. I know that he's challenging, he said some big names and he wants a belt and he thinks he's the guy that can do it. Fair enough. Fundora's out here getting his hand injured to face bloody Furman. This is what, brother, how are people giving Fundora this credit and he's facing bloody Furman? Furman.
Who did he beat Fundora before? It was what's the Aussie? Tim Tszyu, yeah. That's the thing, because he beat Tim Tszyu, and at that point, I was like, no one's beating Tim Tszyu and stuff like that. Then I swear he beat him twice.
But
this is the thing, right? This is what I feel about.
Should have been facing, especially whoever my man that beat Tim Tszyu for the IBF belt. I keep on forgetting how to pronounce his name. The IBF champion. Sorry.
Yeah, I think it's Bakram
Bakram, yeah. Bakram should be facing Fundora. That's what should be happening. But is that happening? No. No one. To be fair, Bakram is the boogeyman right now at 154. No one wants to face him. Credit to him. Fundora is out here facing washed guys at PBC. But do you know what? If you want to get face washed guys and get paid, fair enough. I can't hate on it. Cool. Who's the other one?
Canelo, but that's beside the point.
He what?
I said unless it's Canelo, but that's beside the point. We're gonna let him.
Fundora shouldn't even be fighting on one. In all honesty, Fundora should be fighting at a higher weight class, but he'll get hurt by someone that's actually meant to be in that weight class soon anyway, by weight draining himself. Then the other 154 champions, who are they?
Who's the? I can't remember. He's the guy that's in. No, he's the main champion. Boots is the interim. Let me bring his. Let me see. I can't pronounce it. You got Xander Zayas.
He's another one. He's gonna duck Boots.
Yeah, I can't pronounce this other brother's name. Funny enough, it's my first name, Abbas, and then Barrow. I don't. Do you get what I mean? The commercial nature's not there.
That and people trying to think that Boots is scared of him, and you see Ra saying Matchroom moved the guy who had no experience too fast, e.g. Hatton and Fisher. People need to stop saying that. Hatton was not moved fast. Hatton was moved to a decent level, not even a good, a decent level, and it was just like you could never hack it. That's the truth of it all. Kudos to him for getting in the ring. I always say this: kudos to Hatton for getting in the ring and trying to follow his father's footsteps and giving it a good go. I can never put down someone that gives it a genuine good try. He just wasn't levels. There was no lower that Eddie can go to accommodate Hatton. I'm sorry, there just wasn't. Unless you're just going to give him the most horrible trash cans ever to beat, and then guess what? Then you're going to complain, Eddie, why do you keep on giving him trash can? Like, you can't win or lose. As for Fisher, everyone thought Dave Allen was washed, so Eddie done the right thing. Let me give you Dave Allen because we think he's washed, and then Dave Allen beat him. Is what it is. He wasn't moved too fast, and then to say that. But they're moving the super talents too slow. Boots isn't moving too slow under Eddie. People are literally ducking him. This goes once again to saying what I said about Boots ain't blameless though. He changed his mind after telling Turkey he'll move up to 154 instead of 147 for the extra fight. Yes, to unify. This is what I mean. How can you criticize someone for wanting to unify? That's literally
what's funny. I think this is what I'll say with Boots, right? So this is going to sound weird. So I'm going to try to find a way for it to land. When he fights, I think people realize how great he is.
Yeah.
The only problem with Boots is it's like one, because he's so good, the actual pool of opponents to fight him, it's limited. People ain't gonna fight him.
Yeah,
So then
exactly.
he takes a bit of time to actually get an opponent. And then by then, guess what? There's going to be criticism of the fact that he might have had 6 months between a fight. Why is it? But it's that difficulty of actually finding the opponent to be able to do it. Because let me just bring up. Let me see the gap.
Because he's not. Here's the thing: he is not profitable enough to take the risk of.
So that's the thing. You got. Even if you go to 2024, right? I think that's when I want to say Eddie came in charge with him, because they brought Wells Fargo Philly. So you got Evan Neesham, 2024, July, November 24, then April 25, October 20. So that gap is consistent in terms of how long it takes. And I think what happens is around boxing, in a way, with Boots becomes an afterthought because there's so many other fights that occur and they are bigger names, which is fine. But when he is there, everyone tunes in who's a boxing fan of I would say intermediate to high level of watching boxing. They will all tune in and they realize, you know what, shit, this guy's still good. Like, he's still very good. So it's like when he's there, everyone appreciates it. But when he's not, it's like after 3 months, or when's Boots fighting? When's he fighting? Eddie's slowing down. Eddie's doing this, and it's like it's a difficulty to find an opponent. He's got the Shakur Stevenson factor.
Yeah,
like he genuinely does. Like nobody's gonna fight the dude.
You're not gonna get paid enough to take such a risky fight. No. So why take the fight?
That's the thing. And it's not necessarily a fault of his own. It's just what it is. But what I do like is there's a consistency pattern with what they want to do, which is we want to unify. Do you know what? Do you know what? I kind of rate it. What he said. He goes, "Look, we're going to unify, and then we'll look at OTs, and then we'll move to 160."
And if that other guy, what is OTs done for people to be honest?
I think it's just. But this is what Eddie was saying. But what it is I get that from a money side of point. You'll make the money because guess what? You're not gonna get too many, but you'll get some people that are like, oh, it's Eddie versus Oscar. Fuck it, let's watch it. But what always cracks me up is it's like, okay, we'll unify, we'll get OTs, and then if the other guy's still around at 160, we'll fight him, being Terence Crawford. And I think that's the only bit that I'm just like, yo, stay in your lane. Do you know what I mean?
Stay in your lane. Establish yourself to get that Crawford fight. I'm glad you should want it as a fighter. You should want to face Crawford as the best guy. But for the way I look at it, especially for the people who are looking at Crawford now and giving him the ratings now, the hoops and hurdles that Crawford had to jump to finally be given opportunity was some of the nastiest. The funny thing is, this is how people got forgetful memories now, because people are saying this about Crawford. People are saying, oh, look at him at top rank. He's ducking. His resume is not all that. And then now, you know, that one win against Errol Spence, everything started changing. Now he's got the win against Canelo. Now everyone wants to say all his greatness. He was always that great. But him, like Boots, was getting ducked and getting unfavorable matches. People didn't want to have the risk to face him. So is the forgetful memory that some people have, or the revisionist history, and then it's just a cycle. And I don't mind it. Actually, I do mind it from casuals, but I can at least understand when casuals say it. But there's some knowledgeable people in boxing, and it's just like, you should know better. So why are we repeating this cycle of someone clearly getting ducked? And like I said, with the Brian Norman case, I've never seen such a blatant case of ducking, and people still said that was Boots' fault. I'm like, what more can someone do? I'm offering you, imagine if you told someone in the past, there's going to be someone who's going to get offered 10 times what they already make, and they're still going to turn it down. But the person who gave you that money is the duck. Explain how that makes sense.
Listen, I mean, Norman's got a fight coming up against Devin.
Come on, man. I hope Devin does it, man.
I am kind. I know this. I get Norman's got the power and whatnot. I am kind of surprised. I like to look at betting lines, but I'm kind of surprised that it's very even. Because I look at skill outweighing power, and I just feel like even if I look at the Ryan Garcia fight when Devin lost, he won every round that he weren't knocked down.
Once he didn't get knocked down.
Yeah. So
and that's from lack
that's
of
why.
discipline, not because of bad technique.
And them horrible ass shoes and shorts. That shit was tragically bad. You are wearing fear of God in a boxing ring. What are you doing? But what do you think, right? So I like the Eddie Hearn experiment in the US because when he's there, it's funny because they always call it a double header on DAZN. When he's out in America, they'll always have some kind of UK show as well. And it always cracks me up. It's like you can tell where Eddie Hearn really enjoys his shit or where he actually wants to market because Frank Smith's always at the UK shows. And I know we've been saying it for a bit that look, Eddie Hearn, I don't think he's out of the UK market, but he understands that, I have the ability to do this and to do that.
Sorry, no, keep what you're saying in mind. Eddie has said, "Yo, I've squeezed the juice out of this UK market as much as possible right now." Frank Smith is your
it's your baby, dog.
Frank Smith, you got it, man. This ain't for me. You got it, Frank.
But I would say this. This is when I look at building a superstar or a boxing superstar. This is the first one that's long term that I look at. I'm like, okay, cool. Let's see what we can do. For me, this will define if Eddie Hearn in Matchroom's going to be successful, and Matchroom would be successful in America. Canelo, when you worked with him, we know who Canelo was, and he already he has a country of a following.
Yeah.
Shakur's time with him, it was kind of interlinked with Turkey. It wasn't always going to be long term.
It was a short-term contract.
Little term contract.
He had a similar thing with Devin Haney. It's like a fight by fight basis.
And I think what he realized was, guess what? I've got probably the most skilled guy, but I can't get him them fights because the guys that we want to fight, they're not going to want to fight. They're not going to want to fight my guy. For like you said, a high risk, low reward. This for me is like, okay, I've got a shot here. I've got a genuine shot to build this guy, even though he had a brand. But guess what? I'm going to take him to the moon. I'm going to put that rocket ship, and we're going to find a way where we're looking at Boots and we're like top 5 pound per pound, and the recognition's going to be there. So I do actually like the approach. But the question I want to ask is, do you think it can actually happen?
What, for Boots to be? Here's the issue, yeah, because I've seen what.
Let's say I'm going to go 18 months. 18 months time with the landscape of boxing is right now to where it is. Where do you think Boots will be sitting in pound for pound rankings?
It depends who his next fight is. At 154, if it's not for a title or a decent opponent, where are we? I know we're near the end of the year now.
Let's say
we're in 2026. Are we talking end of the year 2026?
Oh shit! Okay, now let's not go. No, 18 months. I'm gonna give you
beginning of 2027.
Yeah, let's go. Yes, let's go. So two more fights, or I can give you by his third fight.
Yeah, maybe by 3 fights.
3 fights from now. Where
3 fights? If he hasn't got a title, at best, no. At worst, he needs a title. At best, he needs a unification match in 3 fights. Now, I see. WPC belt is being held by the PBC for Spence and Charlo. Okay, fine. I don't even know who's got the WBC belt. Let me do my Googles. Okay, let me look at the landscape first. 154 boxing title holders. I need to do my Googles right now.
That's Fundora. That's where Fundora is holding up.
All right, cool. Fundora's got a belt at 154. I still don't think Spence is coming back unless there's more.
Yeah, I think the same way that we said about wrap it up with Fundora and wrap this Spence coming back.
Listen, man,
he's enjoying himself.
I just want Spence to be healthy. He looks healthy, and I'm happy for him.
Yeah.
Whether he needs to come back, I don't know. He might just do one more, but anywho, WBO is Xander Sayers, who I'm sure top rank, who don't even have a TV deal, are going to avoid Boots like the plague. So all you got is that Abbas Barral, who I guess, well, with Boots being interim champion, that might be his next guy then. And then obviously Bakram Murtazaliev, I think that could happen because I think that's one of the few people that PBC might just say, listen, you can have that fight because it's not going to do nothing for us.
Yeah.
So I guess the WBA route, what Boots is going to need. So if he can, if he's the interim champion now, I don't know how good this Abbas guy is, but I'm sure Boots is going to favor himself. So I think if they can make that fight happen in the next fight or two, and then make a unification with Metalia's, I'll keep on forgetting how to Backroom. I'll say Backroom. If we can make a unification fight with Backroom in the next 18 months, that's when Boots will start getting its recognition. But until then, one belt won't be enough. And I feel like the only thing that annoys me, people need to acknowledge that he's getting ducked. That's my only annoyance, is the fact that when people go on like Boots is running scared, it's like he's getting ducked. Like, what can you do if the whole... It's like when people try to chat rubbish about, oh, Shakur's not that proven. Who wants to fight him? That's who you need to look at. Who wants to fight?
There's only one person, and he's ducking him.
Who's that?
Yeah, Tank. Like that's my whole thing.
Not even just Tank. Tio, who's been asking for someone to bite the bait to face him, even though you notice he's dropped his racist angle since he realized he can't get fights like that. Tio, who then started begging this name won't fight me. This name won't fight me. Shakur put his hand up and said, I'll fight you then.
I'll fight you at 140. I'm good.
But at 140, knows who's gone quiet. But you know when they say, like, what they say about Arsenal fans, sometimes you don't even need to argue with Arsenal fans, just wait. Yeah. That's how I feel about Tio. Just wait. The guy's an idiot. Talented guy, but he's a head case. All that talk, he kept on saying, these guys are ducking me. No one wants to be great. No one wants to really fight each other. Shakur put his hand up and said, let's do this. Tio has literally gone silent. To the point where Shakur's even, I've seen him in public space where Shakur's actually come up to him and said, yo, we're going to do this fight.
Yeah.
And now Tio's not got chat no more. I saw Tio try to be at the Bud press conference saying, yo, do you want to face me? Which I don't understand why he thought that Bud's going to come down to... I don't know what weight class Tio thinks Bud's going to come down to face him. And Bud, like the true champ he was on stage saying, yo, this my little bro right here.
Yeah.
Make that fight. And then he went quiet again. So it's hard to have greatness sometimes when it's like some people are too good for their own good, unfortunately. Tio won't even face Hitchens, let alone face Shakur. So now that's why we're in this weird space where Boots is in a similar space where it's just like, if Boots beats this Abbas guy for the WBA belt, they're still not going to give him credit. If he beats Backroom, though, I think the more knowledgeable fans will give him credit. I think what Eddie's doing is good, though, which is the main thing is you need to build up his Philly following.
Yeah.
Build up his local following, because that's what boxing has been missing. It's been missing people that have been built locally, especially in the stateside, that have been built locally. And you know that every single time they have a big arena show, people are going to show up. It's going to be big crowds. He's not ready for Vegas yet, commercial-wise anyway. Vegas is when commercially you're the guy. He's not at that point. So I think Eddie's doing the right thing. Build him up in Philadelphia / the East Coast, and then let's get the ball rolling. I think it's still going to probably be... I think it's going to be Eddie's best project, where you've got, like you said, 18 months. I don't think Boots will be considered pound for pound, but at this moment, let's consider dominance in your division. That's all you need. And once you get dominance in your division, I think you've got Charlo there might want a big payday. So it's like if he manages to get the belt of Fundora, you can beat up Charlo. Or if they actually do Spence versus Charlo, which I actually think that's a good fight. If Spence is gonna come back,
I don't mind the fight. Yeah, I was gonna say it's one that holds the name's value as well as something behind it as well.
it will hurt me to watch. Actually, no, it won't.
No,
it'll hurt me to watch knowing that Derek James is going up against Spence. I've
Oh, okay, yeah.
Jamel, I'm just not a big fan of no more. But I would love to see Spence versus Charlo. Even though I'll be sad if Derek James is on the other side of that, but that's a whole nother thing. But yeah, I think Boots won't be no pound for pound ranking, but right now, don't worry about pound for pound. Worry about just being the best in your division, and everything else will fall into place. And hopefully, he builds up enough of a big cachet and name to do so. But I just feel like Eddie, I love the fact that he's up for the challenge, but it's like I've always said about the TV deals in boxing in general. For me, UFC, no, let me not say that. Zoo for Boxing have the best TV deal, if you ask me. Paramount in America, from what my understanding of what Paramount is a big network in America. And that's what I think Zoo for Boxing will have an advantage over a lot of other boxing channels, which is they've got a very national network to help build their brand, whereas the Zone is still quite a niche app.
Do you know what? It's niche. I know this. It's niche, but the following it has, really, for me, or what it's marketed being the home of boxing, for example, it shouldn't be an issue for boxing fans.
The issue isn't boxing fans. The issue is, in order to expand the sport, let's take UFC as a case study. The reason why UFC is doing so well now, I won't even say MMA, I'm saying UFC specifically, is because the UFC has worked their brand so much that, and their access has been so good that people that aren't in the UFC know what the UFC is.
Yeah.
They don't even know the fighter. The UFC's brand is so good that people tune in for the UFC and not the fighter sometimes. You get what I'm saying? UFC's become so big that I've been watching MMA since about 07, 08. And once like people like Habib and McGregor, obviously, Israel Adesanya, Leon Edwards here. I remember when Leon Edwards first got that win over Kamaru Usman, I think was that 2022. Yeah. I had uncles asking me about Leon Edwards. Do you get what I'm saying? But that's also because there's a certain national access that UFC had at the time with BT Sport. So you can casually come across their programming. Imagine you're watching your,
And do you know what's mad?
Early day kickoff, and then doing advertisements. Oh, and tonight the UFC is going to be on.
But they always do that. That's the thing. Yeah.
That's why when Queensbury left BT, TNT, shall I say, maybe they just weren't getting a good deal with TNT. But that shocked me because I was just like, isn't that what you want? Isn't that the type of advertising that you want? That when people are watching their football or their rugby or their whatever, and then that advertisement comes up, coming up, boxing at 9 p.m. on TNT 3. Like, and I feel like that's what boxing's missing right now. So then the Zone is good, but it's still more of a hardcore app than it is the casual person's app. That's the issue with the Zone. And I don't know if there's enough money. I don't know if there's enough money in just the hardcore fans of boxing. That's always been my.
Oh no, there's not. There's not. At least for what I would say is there's not money. So it's a weird one. There's not enough money from hardcore fans in terms of watching the event from home. But what I will say in the UK anyway, I feel like there is enough ability to get them to go to the fight. If that makes sense. You see, like at the end of the day, there'll be fights, but guess what? Like, let's just take this past weekend, right, with Dave Allen. There'll be there'll be a lot of fans. Most of the fans in Sheffield would have come that would have been either fans of Dave Allen, fans of other fighters on the undercard. Then you would have had more fans, a select group of fans that would have just come because you know what, it's an event happening in Sheffield, versus fans subscribing to DAZN for that specific event, if that makes sense. So that's where there's no middle ground. You're not going to get the hardcore fans for the boxing because guess what? They're probably already buying the ticket for that event anyway. So do you get what I mean? That's where that is. But staying in the UK, we got to talk about Ben Whittaker, and like Eddie Hearn basically just confirmed the last part of the schedule for them in terms of the 3 shows, and Ben Whittaker, Birmingham, headlining. You know what?
Oh, is he? I didn't know about this. Tell me more.
Oh yeah, he's headlining on November 29th. So the final UK show belongs to Ben Whittaker in Birmingham.
That is
so
how
I do like it, because then I think after that, like I was saying offline, Shabazz would have headlined that card in Birmingham, but I kind of like what they did. They said, okay, we can't put Shabazz on that card because it makes no sense, because he already has enough to headline, and we've seen that. Let's run Ben Whittaker. Let's strap that rocket ship. Here's your first show with us. You're not on the undercard. You are the headline. Let's see what you can do. Let's see what you can bring in. What's your thoughts on just the move? I know a lot of people look at it as like it's just like the perfect blend, and in theory it is. But I have also seen, I'll be honest with you, I kind of see Ben Shalom kind of put the rocket ship on him a little bit in terms of the razzmatazz. I remember when he was coming out, he had the full entrances, he had everything. I think what just happened was this Sky deal, and that, or not lost, but whatever it was with Liam Cameron, kind of derailed it a bit. Like, what do you make of this new partnership that we're going to see come November 29th?
I'm trying to find out. I'm seeing the headlines. It says Whittaker to challenge for first major title.
Silver title.
What's that?
I think it's one of the silver titles at light heavyweight.
I don't like that. I'll be honest.
Why?
The funny thing is, I was in the group chat and there was even talking about how fast they're going to move Whittaker. And where this is the danger that does come with Eddie, where he believes in his fight that he doesn't always, he fast tracks them. I don't know if Whittaker's ready for a silver title yet, because you haven't conquered the British level to be going for a silver title at a world level. So it's almost like he hasn't shown. Do I think he's got ability? Absolutely. Does he have star power? Absolutely. He hasn't shown that the ability is quite ready yet to strap the rocket to him and just go straight into world level without trying to conquer the British level, at least an English title, which I get it's not as glamorous, but it would have been good to, okay, maybe not English title, but a British title would have been nice.
Yeah.
Especially, I think, British title, I forgot who Dan Aziz lost the belt to. I don't think it's impossible for Ben Whittaker to get that British title. And in all honesty, I think he needs a bit more activity just to show that he can fight at the British title level. So going in at silver, even if it's a silver title at the world level, it's a bit worrying because I don't know if he's ready for that just yet.
I think had Eddie started with Ben Whittaker, I think then we would have seen that British, that natural progression thing. The same way, kind of. I know they're not comparable, but I'm gonna just say for like on the weekend Hamza did won the English title, and it's like, because you started with this kid, we can't allow that little progression. But because you've just come in, bang, it's a bit more trickier. The fanfare is going to be there, and then say, we're going to put him in for a British title. It's like, Ben Shalom could have probably done that. Give us a bit more. Show us that,
don't think. Here's the issue. Ben Shalom, in terms of matchmaking, or shall I say Shalom and his team, done well to give him favorable matches. And when you're in your first like 10 fights, which I think he's had
Yeah, this
about
is
10
the
now.
10th or the 11th fight.
Yeah, that's what you're meant to be doing. You're meant to have favorable matches against people that ain't too flashy. So similar to what Ra's saying, when he said he couldn't put a dent in an area level guy, I think there's two issues with Ben Whitaker. The flashy style he began with, we got found out when he faced Cameron with that. Not even against Cameron.
It was before that.
There was someone he
Yeah.
fought before that. And funny enough, he even put that person in his training camp after because he showed him, like, I think he just liked how he was in the ring. So it
He
was
couldn't
kind of
knock him
just
out,
like,
and he
yeah,
looked a bit desperate after a bit.
yeah, I think the guy was just as athletic as he was. So it was kind of just like, you can't rely on just athleticism like you used to. However, at the level that he's at now, it's not world level. It's not silver level. It's not even continental level. It's not even European level.
Mm.
You should be doing British level. That is the truth. So unless this is a silver title and they're gonna go back to British level, I don't think he should be going any higher than this, depending on how he fights. And don't get me wrong, under Andy Lee, he's been looking 30. Under Andy Lee, he's been looking more venomous, less flashy. He's kept his style. I think Andy Lee's done well to find a good medium of keeping his style but making him more refined. So this fight would be a good, place to see where he's at. I still don't feel the world level where he should be creeping at. He should at least get a British
I think
title.
they're gonna do. I think they're gonna do your route, which is we get a silver title, but now that we've put him in, okay, cool. We can see what he can do. Right now, we can rein it a little bit back, and we can
Mm,
just strap on a couple of British. Because I think what's his name? If I'm not wrong, I might be, but apparently with Hamza Shiraz, for example,
mhm.
see where he's got right now. Guess what they may even do? They may say European title with Callum Simpson. We can run it because guess what? We've already got the brand of we know what you can do. We can now run at 168 the title, the fight with Callum Simpson. And guess what? Because Canelo's injured, we don't need to do anything right now. We'll wait. We'll get that. But in the meantime, here you go. Grab a couple more belts just so it looks pretty on paper.
Hamza's in a weird spot where I feel like Callum Simpson, because I think Hamza's gonna be like, I thought higher ranked guys, I should be the A side. But then I'll look at it like Callum Simpson's got I won't say commercial backing, but the regional
He's got the fan.
backing.
He's got the fan backing.
Yeah,
One
he's
of his,
got the regional backing. So with Callum Simpson, who's Williams? Ross saying who's Williamson? Who? I'm not too familiar with this
no.
Williamson, the guy that Simpson's in a good space right now. And if his level is European, then fine. They should try Williamson.
Troy Williamson.
Oh, that is a good fight. I think Simpson should beat him, but it's a good fight regardless. That's a bit of a jump for Williamson. Didn't Williamson just jump to middleweight and then now he's jumping out to super middleweight? Correct me if I'm wrong.
But yeah, no, I do feel like that thing that you said about okay, I get a silver title, but I can then drop back a bit just because people have seen that I can do this. But I do think there's going to be pressure on two things. One, the performance, and then I do think there'll be people who will be expecting a finish. And I think I've said it before, and I'll say it again. At that weight class, I think he's just got pillow hands.
It's not even. Do you know what it is? Some people are saying they want to finish out of spite. They don't really want to finish. They're just saying it because they want to be
They know,
spiteful.
yeah.
They're not saying it out of a genuine place. I just want a dominant performance. Go out there.
Yeah.
Even if you don't, sometimes I want to see fights that can be entertaining throughout. Even look at someone like Bivol, for example. When Bivol is on, Bivol doesn't need a knockout. He's gonna put on a good fight and just batter you and outbox you for the whole 12 rounds if he needs to be. So be that guy. You don't always need to be the knockout guy. If you can't knock people out, fine. Bivol's already shown people. It's a bit unfair to say that Bivol's shown people because he's an extremely good talent in his own right. But Bivol has shown that, guess what? Even if I can't get you out of there, I'm going to box your head off for the 12 rounds. And yeah, I think with Whitaker, go in there and box people off for 12 rounds then. If you can't knock them out, or if you need to be that person that accumulates punches to get someone out of there, then so be
Yeah, I
it.
don't mind that. I do not
Yeah,
mind
I
that.
don't mind that.
I
As
like
long
that.
as
What
if
I
you do
don't
it in a
like
good
is,
skilled way, then I'm here for it.
yeah, what I don't like is, right, guess what? I'm going to hit you with 3 jabs, then I'm going to dance a little bit, and then I'm going to hit you with, and then I'm going to give you a little hook, and then I'm going to, no, give me the triple jab, give me the hook, give
Yeah,
me that,
all of
give
that.
me that flow. I don't want you to knock someone out because I don't believe, it sounds bad. I don't think you can direct, that one-shot power.
Yeah, he
But
hasn't got that. He
yeah,
hasn't got
but
that.
with a lot of punches in motion, it's going to look nice. It's going to look slick. And you can get the stop there. That's cool with me because that goes back to my point of you having softer hands, but you have the speed to go with it. If you can do that, I'm happy. I just really don't like where it's, and maybe I'm sounding like one of them people, but it's like, oh, I'm going to throw a few jabs and then I'm going to dance a little bit and then I'll just jab in again. It's like, we know
No,
what you're doing. We know what you're kind of doing. You've kind of worked out, I'm in round it. I can't really do as much as I want, but I'm going to do this flashy stuff and try to get the job done over 12.
I think I think
Because you know what that will do for
like
me,
I
if you
said,
want me to be
let's
honest.
wait until how he looks again with Andy
Yeah,
Lee, because I think the issue
yeah,
was before is that he was with his local gym, which is always good to be with your local gym, but in camp,
yeah. You
but
need
we
to
always say,
separate. Yeah.
at least I'll say this. I was saying it for a long time. He needs to join a serious camp
Mm.
because when he left Sugar Hill, and then it became evident that you don't have the right person to take you to the next level. Whereas I think, I'm not sure, I'm presuming he still trains with Joby when he's outside of camp, but in camp he's with Andy Lee. And that's the best way. Joby is good to keep you ticking whilst whilst you're not fighting.
Because I've seen one of the lads before we wrap up, and
Mhm.
so what he'll do is, like you said, he's training with the guys to a certain point. But guess what? When my main coach comes in, I've got my time with him, my one-to-one.
Absolutely.
The rest of you guys stay with the guy that we're doing the cardio with, the bag work a little bit. But I'm gonna have that center stage in that ring with my one-to-one coach, and
Yeah,
that's what it should be.
for sure. I agree. And so I'm gonna put all reserve and judgment on Ben
Mm,
Whitaker on hold until we see how he looks like with Andy Lee in his second fight. Like I said, the Cameron fight, he looked very impressive. So the next fight, I want to see, are you going to level up from there? And from there, that's when we can finally see, will Ben Whitaker please
yeah.
stand up? And with a promotional, guy like Eddie behind him, he's going to become the star that he needs to be. Hopefully, translate roles onto like getting more people to watch the zone, and hopefully he can still get the national press that he needs to. Unfortunately, I feel like the whole reason why he chose box in the first place was kind of like, you
Discuss
guys
Sky.
are with Sky, and this is the
Yeah.
opportunity to get my name out there. I think it done it a bit, but then obviously he didn't help it with his last fight with Boxer. I mean, his
Mm.
second to last fight with
Signal.
Boxer,
Yeah.
and the fact that Boxer just didn't, that Sky deal. We'll never know how it was behind the scenes, but it was just a
I will
horrible.
do this. Low key, I'm kind of warming up to the BBC thing. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind
I
of
think,
warming
yeah,
up to.
I'm looking forward to seeing how if they can make Callum Simpson a big name via the BBC,
Mm.
I think that is a big opportunity for him. He can be the
And I
next,
think I'll be honest,
national
it
hero.
might it might even change people's perception of Ben Shalom a bit.
I don't care about this point.
Oh no, I get it. But my point being is, you know what? If it's
I just
he,
want
he
that platform, like my thing has been. I
yeah,
just want there to be a boxing platform that can reach people nationally and capture the imaginations of
yeah,
more people. And if that means being on, BBC iPlayer, etc., and now we've got a case where Callum Simpson's fights are getting viewed by people that may have not been watching it, or it could be before match of the day and people Saturday nights or even Sunday nights, and they're just like, oh, I just
yeah.
need something to watch, and it's just like, oh, who's this Callum Simpson guy? And then you got this big, atmosphere up north that captures, you know, the imagination of the people. That's what I want. Whether it is Box or whether it's Shalom, just get it done. Because you're clearly not the charismatic guy. So guess what? If you're going to be the guy that's not charismatic, at least get it done behind the scenes and just be the guy where it's like people are just looking at how the machine of Box is running and they're just like, okay, this is good. Because clearly you're never gonna be the flashy guy in front of the camera. So at least get stuff done behind the camera then.
I hear. Listen, guys, we're gonna wrap up today's episode. As always, you know the vibes. Like, share, subscribe, and throughout the week, more content will obviously be coming through as always. But until next time, love and peace, people.
It's another band. All the Muslim cars now, whichever get up. Light up my card with a sweet one bliss. Someone flicks me a bag by the So, it's another one. It's another one, yeah. It's a full strand, yeah. Oh, it's another one. It's another one, yeah.